Yummy, 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 yum. Look at this beautiful embroidered fabric. Compliments of Martha Stewart Home Collection. Now, I purchased these from my thrift shop. I was looking for the tag. I think I already got rid of it. But anyway, these are genuine, bona fide Martha Stewart pillowcases someone decided they didn't want. So I'm going to repurpose them into the back and front yoke of a Western inspired shirt. So here's the piece. This is from one of my vintage patterns. And so yeah. Thank you, Martha. New project in progress. Let's do this. Oh, sorry about that. Yes. Kind of into kind of like a Western-ish style shirt inspired from our trip to Mexico, and just wanting to do kind of like some of the embroidery on some of the shirts that we saw when we were there. I actually purchased some shirts from a little lady who was a vendor on one of the streets. I love doing that. I love supporting other entrepreneurs. She told me that she handmade all of the shirts she was selling. And I just rant and rave really quick about the beauty of this fabric. This is the wrong side, which I could very easily use as the right side as well. And then this was the lining that was inside the pillowcase. And I'm going to be able to use this to line my bib piece here. So you really get a lot of bang for your buck. If I bought this beautiful looking, it almost looks like a tapestry, but it's very lightweight. If I purchased this by the yard, this will cost a fortune and would probably be sitting in the home deck department. And then if I bought my lining separate, ka-ching, ka-ching, that's even more money spent going out the door. And also, let me say that this is 100% machine wash. Do you hear me? I have already laundered these and they look as beautiful as they did before they went in the wash. So here's a pro tip for you. If you're looking to save money on fabric by the yard, check the bedding in the linens department for pillowcases, for sheets, for blankets, curtains. Oh my gosh, the curtains. But yeah, I'm done talking now. Let's sew. But yeah, this is going to be the front bib of my shirt. And then this is another thrifted sheet. It is 100% cotton. It has this denim look to it. I absolutely love it. I think it's divine. And so that's what I'm working with today. Okay, I'm so excited to start working on this. You know how you get really excited to see the finished product when you're working with fibers that are just so lovely. So the first thing I'm going to do is flip these over and stitch my lining on. Actually, I didn't need to flip it over because I need right sides together. So I'm going to sew my lining on, but I'm only going to stitch the outer perimeter here, so that when I turn it, I have this part still nice and flat where I'm going to put on my front placket, collar, and shoulder seams. So that's the first step on both of these, with right sides together, just to simply stitch the outer perimeter of my bib so that that is finished. Let me backtrack for 1 second. So I am choosing to use a lining so that I don't have to worry about getting this curve super, super crisp. Another method, in case you were wondering, is you could like add a lightweight fusible interfacing to this and then go in and clip the same amount along the outer perimeter around the curves, and then you could turn it, okay? And then you could have a nice finished edge that way. But I don't know, I think this may be kind of like a cheat method that I do. I just make sure I use a really, really lightweight lining, and then just when I stitch that and turn that, same effect. Just however you want to do it. Lord have mercy, child. I forgot to turn the camera on the sewing machine. I just went zippity doo dah, zippity yay. But, okay, so this has been sewn on the outer perimeter, as I mentioned. And so I'm just going to simply turn this out, and I'm going to press, and then turn it right side out. Oh, before I do that, actually, I forgot. I'm going to pink it along the curve only. It doesn't really need to be pinked up here. I mean, I could do it, but it doesn't matter one way or the other. So I like to do this along the curve somewhat close to the stitching, but not too close. This would be an equivalent to clipping the curves. And we all know that we have to clip our curves in order for them to lay smoothly when we turn our garment right side out. I'm going to clip this a little more. You can also do this with a rotary cutter. You just need the blade that has the pinking on the blade. They do have those for your rotary cutters. But yeah, and so now I'm going to get in this curve with my pressing ham, and I'm going to press it out really, really nice. And then this is going to be the result. The curve is really nice and crisp. Pro tip, one thing I like to do when I press it is I like to leave a little edge. See how I left this edge here? For me, that really helps so that when I lay it on my garment, even though I'm going to top stitch along the edge, it just reduces bulk, and you never see the lining sticking out from any angle. So it also leaves just a little bit of excess along the unfinished edge. I'm going to simply go in with my rotary cutter and trim that off. Then I'm going to lay these on the front pieces of my shirt. All right, I'm a little stuffy in case you didn't notice. But anyway, let's keep it moving and grooving. So this is how we're gonna do this. You're just gonna place it on the top. Ooh, cutie patootie. I'm gonna pin that on. Then I'm going to run 2 rows of edge stitching. One will be right on the edge, and then one will be about 1/8 of an inch in from the outer stitching. Lovely. I think I'm just going to go with the polka dots here and a minimal trim. Now, I could have put this trim inside of the bib before I stitched it together, but this is one of the beauties of being able to just be creative as you sew. When you get inspiration to do something else, you can just do a little, quick change, and it'll still be fine for me to just stitch this in as I'm edge stitching to catch that in. So I think I'm gonna try that. Okay, now the camera's at a weird angle because I need to be up close and personal for this part. And usually I film with the camera between me and Mama Jade to give you guys the straight close-up shots. But I'm not doing that today on this one. Yeah, so let's go. Here's another pro tip. I always slow it down on curves, honey. I don't care. I I don't care. This is why they call it slow fashion, but if you don't want to go slow, then maybe sewing ain't the one for you, because I always just take my time and adjust my fabric as I'm going and I'm moving along. When it comes to sewing my curves, honey, I like to do it nice and slow. And I pick it back up on my straight stitches, you see. Right along the edge. Just basically basting it on the edge here. Right to the inside of the basting stitches on my bib. Pretty much just keeping the edge of my presser foot on the edge of the fabric for this part. Zoom, zoom, baby. Down, presser foot up. Reposition fabric, needle down, and continue. It's one of my favorite moves. Okay, so you want to make sure that the wrong side stays nice and flat. That's why I have pins along the edge. No bubbling or anything. No bunched up fabric in here. You want that to lay nice and smooth all across your bosom. So now I am going to add my trim. Get that tucked in there to start really well. I want to make sure that catches all the way down and that I leave out the same amount on this side that I left out on my other side. Needle down just to hold it there while I check my other one. It's looking good. And I'm just gonna make sure that I don't pull this. I want this to stay nice and at a comfortable tension, I'll say. Because if you pull, you may get some puckering. Girl, I always have something going on in the background. Today it's the lawnmower man. I don't know if you guys can hear. He keeps swinging by the window, which is in front of my machine. So if you hear any moaning, it's the lawn guy. All right, time to go slow. Make sure that my needle is down when I make any repositioning adjustments. Slow. Yes. A good seamstress knows when to slow it down. The race is not given to the swift, baby. Ain't nobody rushing. What we got to rush for? This ain't a race. This is an art. This is therapy, baby. You can't rush therapy. I think I got it. Let me bring that out a little bit. There we go. Slow. I'm telling myself that so I don't throw the gas and put the gas pedal down real hard on the foot pedal. So now it's just time to put the back yoke on, the decorative element for the back. So there's the back, and this is the back yoke that's going to go on. Let me show you what I did really quickly here. On the wrong side, I did go ahead and add some fusible interfacing because this piece is so large that it may tend to buckle or bubble in the middle if it doesn't have a stiffening agent. So I used a lightweight interfacing for that. And then on the bottom, first thing I did was I just sewed that part. I'm sorry, I didn't sew, I ironed. I pressed this up on the edge. See, it was pointed like this. I sewed this up first. I keep saying sewed. I pressed this up, then I pressed this up, and then I pressed this side up to give me a point that is free from excessive bulk. Okay, now all I'm gonna do is top stitch this on. I didn't do any fancy cutting. I omitted some of the harder parts that they had where, you know, this piece is cut like this and blah blah blah. Ooh, that has kind of like a Western vibe, doesn't it? You know, I was thinking it would be really cute if I added some fringe down here on the next one that I use this yoke for, but on this one I'm not, because I'm going to go ahead and bring in more of this lace trim down here to match the front of the shirt.